Welcome to Watchfire Hobbies. Today we're going to paint up something fun. We're going to paint up some more skeleton. No, that's boring. Done a lot of skeletons. You know what? How about the Necker Sphinx? No, we just have to clean that up. That's Necropolis Knights. No, those aren't assembled yet. You know what we need to do? We need to do the leader of the Tomb Kings, or the guy who thinks he's in charge. The Tomb King. So, let's grab a brush, settle in, and enjoy the process. Our Tomb King was based with white spray from the above, just like the rest of the army. I did these all at the same time. His shield, though, I did paint black and then came in with rune silver, just to give him more of a rich look. So the first color up we're going to paint is going to be all of his skin. That's going to be Griff Charger Gray. Let's get started. And there we go. All of our skin effects are done. Well, all of our skin colors are done. So for our next thing, we're going to hit all of our scraps of cloth with Flesh Terror's Red. That includes his lovely flowing cape. We'll also use this on the shield and just cover everything and come back in to really get the under part of the shield. And again, I'm not being super careful here. I'm trying not to get it too on anything we've painted, but if I do, I just have to come back in and clean it up. We're also going to get his little scraps of cloth here. I'm leaving these scraps up here. They're going to be the pallid witch flesh that we use for our restore wraps. Like I said, then with the shield, we're really just going to come in here, and I really want to get these areas, come to the under part of it. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of gold and a lot of other decals on his shield, but I think the other under part should actually be the army color. I mean, this shield could almost be a Space Marine shield with how dead wind guy on it. Space Marines would love that. So next thing, we're going to use the Garena as gold and do all the little gold details. This is going to be our base for our gold for him. Figured he'd have a nicer gold than, just bronze or anything else. We're also going to make sure we get the shield. So like I said, we're just going to cover these panels. These panels here are going to be done different colors. But right now, if I get a little bit on there, that's fine. I'm going to have to come back in and cover them up anyways. So I'm trying to get behind his headdress. Like I said, I'm not being super duper careful, but I'm trying to, not get too much on there. But if you do, you do. And actually, I gotta make sure I get this little under shoulder blade. I think that's also supposed to be metal. Because, you know, you're definitely a king when you have multiple layers of metal, gold, specifically, on your armor. There's a lot of gold on this model. I mean, look at all that. I mean, even his shield, the whole thing's blinged out. Now, I know this is armor. I'm going to probably do that bronze. Actually, let's do the bronze next. So for our bronze, we're going to go with another gold. Now, this is the same way we did our skeletons, where we'll do this and then just wash it. Not just do this. We will paint all the bronze areas with this and then just wash it down, darken it with some black Templar. So like I said, making sure I get the armor. I mean, in my mind, that looks like scale mail. I don't know why LT would have random scales on him. So we're just going to coat this big old sword. I am definitely going to have to do a fun, at least effect on this, because ain't no king that's this rich with this much gold. He's going to come in with just a normal bronze sword. He's definitely going to come in with something, you know, fancy. Maybe he'll do some, like, cracking, some different colors, just to really, you know, give him an appropriate sword. I mean, most likely I don't really look at what I'd probably run him as if he was on foot. I mean, I'd assume at least a Giant's Blade, if not something better. I mean, Tomb King players that are watching this, what do you run your Tomb Kings or Tomb Princes on foot with? Like, what's the magic item you usually give them? Let me know. I'm just going to quickly wash down his sword. Again, this is the almost 3-to-1 Black Templar. Thinned out, just kind of darkening that bronze. All the gold I'm going to leave because, you know, shiny gold looks nice. And again, we're definitely going to do something fun with this sword a little bit later. And like we did with our skeletons, just with a wet, you know, thumb, we're going to kind of wipe off some of the things to make that cutting edge, you know, viable there. As you can see, we got that nice little cutting edge. So I have decided I'm going to do the inner cloak. It looks like he has this cape, then he has a separate cloak here, and then clothes under it. I'm probably going to do the separate cloak here, like a cream color. And then I might just do the kind of, so it'll be red, cream, and then red up here. So I'll have to go back, add that cream color, and then tidy up the red. And for that cream color, we're going to use the Padded Witch Flesh. I know we're using this for the wraps, but I think we'll tie it in a little bit. And again, we're just going to do this little cloak here. It's probably not a cloak, maybe a robe. Probably a robe. Just really work that in there. Try my best not to get anywhere else. And then also, we got to get this spot and here, but I'm going to have to get a smaller brush. Grab the wrong brush. Here we go. Now we got the smaller detail brush. Again, just try to come in here and add some contrast, really, between the red and red on red on red kind of just gets lost. So, wear that in. For our next step, we're going to use Evil Sun Scarlet and do all the little red details that are going to be on his little headdress here. Just coming in very carefully. Just trying just to get those things. Notice another thing he seems to have all over. We'll do it here on his little belt buckle and his shin guards. So up next, we're just going to hit his eyes with some Airman Blue. Also going to do some of the effects on his sword with this, because let's have him, use the same magic to reanimate himself and power his sword. So for the next, we're going to next step. We're going to come in and do all these hash marks with Sotek Green, which, except its name, is blue. It's I guess turquoise or teal, but it's bluish. So, and we're going to be doing this across the army. Anytime we get these hash marks that are not on priest models, we'll be using this color scheme. Because I figure the priest would have something slightly different, as they seem to be the true rulers, we'll call them, of the Tombkins. So, don't look at that. Much more regal. I will come in with a wash and just, wash this to really make those pop. But I also want to highlight, I also want to do these little rib lines. And just, this would be that Sotek Blue, just to add another piece of contrast to it. And again, he would have, some kind of lacquered metal or whatever this is to really make that stand out. So next step, we're just going to come in and touch up a little spot highlight of Retributor armor. And just the tips of the gold. Really kind of make him look like, he is the rich guy, so he should get extra gold. You see, I'm not doing the entire thing. I'm just trying to hit the very top of this crest. Try to make it a little more reflective, I guess is the word I want to use. And then, the snake. Kind of the areas where the gold would actually catch. Definitely hit this medallion. The back end of his sword. Now you notice I did come back in and I did clean this up with just the bronze effect again. I wasn't really happy how bright it was. It was very muted, so I'm going to come back in a minute with I think it's going to be skink blue, and really highlight that so that it kind of shows. I'm just kind of in a couple spots here where I think light would catch normally. Again, just trying to add a little bit more depth to him as a character. And we can't forget to do that to his shield. Same thing. Gonna hit these spikes up top. Now, Retributor armor is one of the ones I really love just using straight out of the pot. It's not one I thin out a lot usually. There's other paints I do, but yeah, Retributor armor, I don't know why, it just, to me, looks so nice out of the pot. And we're going to be using the skink blue just to create that light. I don't call it lightning effect. It's going to be more of a magical effect on the sword. Just going to very little bit of this on my superfine brush. Throw the model around a little bit. And again, we're just coming in here, just kind of creating a very subtle effect. Just a couple streaks here or there, just to kind of make it look, I'm not really trying to do like lightning bolts or anything fun. I'm just kind of giving it that like cracking. I guess that's what I'll call it. I'll call it the cracking, magic effect. The sword's a little dated. It's been around for a bit. So the magic's kind of cracking out of it. There you go. Now we're just going to the other side. And then I believe we are almost done. And there we are. The model has been done. The sword is nice and decorative. I think he'll stand up very nice. Here's his shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our simple desert basing scheme and do that, base him. And we're ready for the final review. Thank you for spending some of your hobby time with me. Until next time, enjoy your hobby.